friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and today's video is sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms. And when I got a message this morning from Fat Hands saying that they were about to zero someone using Attila Ragnar, you know I wanted to record it and share it with you all. So at the start of this video, make your predictions for what's better, Attila Takeda or a double relic on Ragnar with the Attila Ragnar combo. You see, I did some testing with Ragnar, and he looked really comparable to Takeda, and that's when he had only one relic. Now that he's got two, man, I mean, this looks really promising. So in this video, we're going to do the following things. First, we're going to watch the rally footage. This is at 200x speed. Then from there, we're going to look at the things you need to see about the equipment, the armaments, and also the rally reports. How did they go? And we'll try to make a conclusion. Does Attila Ragnar work? Is Ragnar a commander you could work on starting before Season of Conquest, then double relic and get value in Season of Conquest? Now you can see after this first rally, he went from 120 some million power down to 106 million power, which is pretty brutal. And he's got 20.45 million dead troops. From here, boom, second rally hits. Also, you'll notice, by the way, they're going to launch the double rally, this time from a better angle of attack, so they aren't both eating the YSS AoE. So I really like this change that they made. And by the way, we're going to get a look at the equipment on the garrison, or at least the stats, and we're going to try to figure out if they have equipment on. I don't think they had any iconics. So that would signal to me that maybe they didn't have any equipment on at all. And keep in mind that this is happening outside of KVK technology. There's no KVK tech. This is in home kingdom. So 100% of dead troops are what's realized here, which is pretty freaking brutal, man. Troop loss forever. I assume that this is a dead weight zeroing, but I don't actually know for sure. I asked Fat Hands, and we'll see if by the time I get to the end of this recording, I actually have the answer for you. And one thing you'll notice is they swarm here. Players down to 90 million power, 22 million dead. I feel like if you're going for a zeroing like this and you're not up against a time race, the best thing you can do is probably just to not swarm. I think you just want to let the rally, with its very superior numbers, especially toward the end of things, inflict more sevs. But I could be wrong about that. Maybe swarming is the better play. It's really not that big of a deal either way. I like that they have dropped a debuff onto this player, by the way. So you know for sure it's in home kingdom. Also, they've got buffs on the rally leads. You can see Duke on screen here. And here comes the second rally. So this time, they've got the Attila Ragnar combo, and backing it up is the Attila Takeda combo. All right. Now, I mean, at this point, once they're at this level of power, the city is relatively easy to zero. It's that 100+ range where things are kind of brutal, and the doubles make a lot of sense. So we'll get a look at this in a second. 76 million power. I mean, the drop is so fast. 23.5 million dead troops. So it's really kind of stacking up for the city here. And here is the final set of rallies. This is going to be a staggered set of rallies. And I don't know if they did this timing that you're about to see on purpose, where they anchored the second rally, or if it's just really impressive timing. But here you're going to watch this first rally doing work. Again, this is 200x speed, so it is running faster than normal. And then as soon as this first rally finishes, the second rally is going to land. So in a real fighting situation, that timing would actually be super strong because a player cannot teleport once the rally is hitting their city. They could peace shield, but I think they're offline, obviously, for this whole operation. So this is an offline player zeroing, and boom, there's the second rally. Bro, I hope you didn't blink, because like the timing there was really cool. So second rally hits. Now it's an Attila Takeda. And in just a minute here, we'll look at the reports for ourselves, and I'll show you the stats on the screen for the equipment and armaments Fat Hands had. The equipment's really crazy. The armaments are not overly crazy. I mean, they're pretty standard stuff. 61 mil power now for this player. They have lost a lot of troops at 126 million power. I mean, we'll look at the report, but we probably would assume it's mostly tier 5s, given the number of deads they're getting from each report. But we'll see for just a second, or in just a second, what that looks like. At this point, they're just swarming the city, which seems perfectly fine to me. everybody's in it for that loot that you saw at the start of the video. There's a pretty high amount of resources on this player that they're also going to get to plunder. So at this point, the player just gets swarmed out repeatedly, which is very brutal. 58 million power. I think when it's all said and done, they finish around 54 million power. And just from sort of watching here and having not actually looked at the reports yet, I am willing to bet that Attila Ragnar did pretty damn well. Well enough that you'd be like, yeah, I mean, it's a Takeda replacement for a rally in a Attila Takeda city zeroing combo. So the city gets polished off in just a second here. We'll have the grand total dead number from start to finish. And yep, they're pretty much toasted at this point. Very little left. Here comes the plundering for all the goodies. And let's see if we get a peek at the powers. Probably 54 million. Yeah, they're 56 million. Okay. And then 25.5 million dead troops. Okay, here we are in the first report, and you can see it looks pretty good. 380,000 dead for the rally, and 925,000 dead for the garrison. Garrison, Xeno YSS, and it's all T5s. Yeah, my guess there was correct. Based on the power loss and troop loss numbers they had going, that makes a lot of sense. If we look at the troop buffs here, you can see this is the double relic on Ragnar. And there's no iconics equipped. So if they have equipment, it's not iconic equipment. It's certainly not crit iconic equipment. So yeah, they're in a world of trouble here with whatever they got going on with their Xeno. If you're offline, you're just GG'd. At that point, it's just a question of how many troops it's going to take to get the job done. Not a question of whether or not the player is going to get zeroed. If we look at the next report over here, we look here, boom. Fat Hand's second rally, 276,000 dead to 960,000 dead is very brutal. We'll look at the third rally now. We go here, and this is 323,000 dead to 1.217 million dead troops. GG, man. Attila Ragnar is doing work here. Now, the question is, would Attila Takeda have been better, chat? What do you think? State your opinions down below in the comments. 197,000 to 934,000 dead troops. Jeez, man. I mean, look, it does some serious damage. And you may be wondering, why is it that Ragnar even works as a substitute for Takeda? What the heck is going on here? If we scroll down to Ragnar, who I expertised a while ago, and I honestly don't even really know why. Like, it's not accomplishing much of anything for my roster. But if we get a look here, the active skill makes it so troops led by this commander deal increased damage and take less damage, which means he's compatible with Attila Takeda, or rather, Attila anyways, because Attila reduces the skill damage you deal, but he doesn't do anything with that. Also, by the way, attack is increased by 20%, and normal attacks have a chance to reduce healing effectiveness, which actually works against the Xeno. That's actually pretty funny. And then troops led by this commander deal 10% more damage when hitting cities, and troop capacity is increased by 10%, and when this commander launches a rally, rally troops have 10% more troop capacity, which is very good for hitting a city, especially without KVK technology. So you add on the double relic to this Ragnar, and things are looking pretty good for him as a hero for rallying cities like this. You get a grand total of, is it 35% defense? Yeah, 35% defense and 15% normal attack damage taken reduction, which is absolutely brutal. So yeah, I think I would give a thumbs up to Ragnar as a substitute with a double relic for Takeda, if that's the route you wanted to go. Now, if you have Takeda, I don't think you need this. I'm not actually sure which one is better. It's hard to tell. You'd have to sort of rally the same thing twice. You'd maybe need to do that. Maybe that works in an Ark of Osiris practice match, but I'm not sure that it would. So what I'm going to do now is put up on the screen the equipment and armaments that Fat Hands had. And if we get a look at this, his equipment is obviously really, really nuts. We can see here that he's got a crit KVK helmet. He's got almost entirely iconic equipment here. And he is using a Greatest Glory without the iconic, but with the crit, which is crazy. He is rocking the 4-piece cavalry set bonus as well, which is pretty cool. Ash the Dawn and a crit ring is some big GGs on the equipment. And for the armaments, I mean, these, he told me, it's like, yeah, it doesn't have anything special here. Hurried and Galloping are both March speed related. So all we really have to boost here is the 6.2 attack, 6.9 defense, and 5% health. So nothing too crazy on the armaments. I mean, we're looking at like 17, 18% of stats on the armaments. And a crazy set of armaments will be in the realm of 30%. A typical spender who's focusing on this type of armament would be maybe in the realm of 20 to 25%. So, I mean, these are pretty solid. A lot of damage dealt by this rally. And for those of you that don't know Fat Hands, he used to be in 1254, and he gave the most legendary response to getting zeroed. Card will be in the end screen for that video, as well as a card with an overview of his account. Check those videos out. I think you'll like them. And thanks again to Fat Hands for letting me know the zeroing was going down and for sending me everything I needed.